Hey, we are live.
Awesome.
Excuse me. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Passion, Purpose, and Possibilities. I apologize for the delay. We are having some technical issues, and Andrew was helping me figure those out. So that's part of living your passion. You roll with the punches, right, Andrew?
All right, man. Definitely.
Awesome. Well, Andrew, thanks for taking the time to be on here. I am looking forward to it. I appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, for sure. Right now I work in the mindset niche and I help agency owners to scale their business. And I got into it through sort of like unfortunate circumstances. I started to get anxiety when I turned 30 and I sought medical advice and attention and took medication and stuff. And over a number of years, I realized I kind of had to fix my own problem. And so going through that gauntlet of like trying and error and trying to figure out like how to fix my brain, I developed a process and a system I can help other people out. And so it's one of the things I teach and I do, and it's in alignment with my passion because I know a lot of other people are having that similar amount of pain and the problems I used to have. And so it's what I do now, and it's what led me to Kenny, and really excited me about coming live on a show here. So this is really going to be a pretty cool discussion.
So, when you say you fix your brain, kind of what does that include a little more?
Yeah,
Do
100%.
I get a hammer and screwdriver? And
I wish that'd be a lot easier, man. I think any guy would take that option, right? Like let's just like open the hood and see what's under here, right? Put
yeah,
some higher octane fuel on this thing. Um, yeah, but so like what it entails, I mean, first, like I think every like mental problem is different. You know, every like obstacle, whether it's a belief, perspective, or actual physical symptom like anxiety, depression, or burnout, or fatigue, or overwhelm, like all those things have a different application, a different tool to like fix and to repair and to really get back into balance and working order. And so the process is going to be different for each one of those things. Like if we dive deeper into like any one of those areas, we can definitely like unpack that and explore and discover a little bit more. Um, and and I can say this like right out of the gate is whatever process you choose, it's going to work a little bit or it's going to work a lot of it. And so every time that you go to fix something internally or externally, really, it's something that you're going to have to start paying attention to, like what really works for you, and then just lean into that edge, throw away that what doesn't, and continue to build and continue to iterate until you find a solution that really fits the bill and gets you to that place where you want to be in life. And that's how I really discovered my process is, working with a bunch of mentors, teachers, books, watching YouTube videos, all those things, and just doing that inner step-by-step process to get back to a place where I felt confident and I felt like I was living my life and felt like I was, doing something that was beneficial to this my planet and myself and the people around me. And so it's definitely a step-by-step journey. And so trusting in that and then just choosing to, really focus on what does work and commit to that.
that's awesome. That's um a lot of info in a quick brief second. So make sure you reach out to Andrew to dissect that further. But you said a couple things, both right there and also off camera when we were trying to figure out these technical issues. You said asked about Facebook permissions because normally we're streaming live to Facebook right now, and then you said what you wanted to do and stuff. So I have to ask you, excuse me, who gave you permission to do what you wanted?
100%. It's kind of funny because I have a mentor right now, and he always says this thing. He's like, "Hey, man, I give you permission to go do this." And like as a man, like I don't know, I'm not used to hearing that. Like we're just sort of like thinkers. Like we've got to go do the thing. You know what I'm saying? We've got to kick butt, take names, remove the obstacles, like take action. Sort of become that type of thinker, and like put ourselves in that position and be the one that gives ourselves permission. And so like to answer your question, it's always got to be you, but it's just great to have like that level of support where people are doing it around you and giving themselves permission and also like supporting you and giving you permission as well. And so I think it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's really great to have both sides really sharp, to have people around you that do give you permission, do give you support, and do align with your values in the direction you're heading in life. But at the end of the day, you won't find that until you really do it for yourself and you step in your own power and you just take the first, even if it's like 1,000 steps in the direction that you need to go until you find that support system, until you find that lifestyle, because it's going to be you that starts that fire and gives yourself permission to live your life and find that for yourself.
I love that because um, we are in a society, like you said, that we ask for permission for so many things.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like, unfortunately, in the workplace, sometimes we have to get permission to go to the bathroom. And I realized that, and for years I'm like, I don't ask permission to go to the bathroom. If I need to go, I'm gonna go. You know, it's so simple. Just going to the bathroom seems so simple, but at the same time, how much permission, how much control are we handing over to others?
Yeah, it's really interesting.
In our own lives.
For sure. I think there's like a healthy balance there. It's very interesting because humans, we're naturally dependent on each other by the way we find resources and the way we've set our lives up. I don't know how to like get a concrete truck and build a building right here and right now in Mexico. But like I know a lot of guys that do. And so I think there's a healthy amount of like understanding yourself and being independent in building what you need to build. And I think that's what your overall scheme, your overall theme is about here, is really helping people find that passion, that purpose. That's that one thing that they need to do, because like you do want to be supported by the world. You do want to, have governments and, have like treaties and have balanced, relationships with, your friends and companies and other people that are going to handle a lot of the issues in life. Like, I don't want to go build a Tesla. You know what I'm saying? Like that would probably take me a lifetime and it would look pretty wonky. It'd be like something out of a Dr. Seuss novel at the end of it, And so I think kind of going back to the original thing of like taking that step-by-step journey of like finding out like what you need to give yourself permission to do and focusing on that. Because I think if you try to like control the world and control all these other variables, like that becomes the problem. You know what I'm saying? And just pull that permission back to yourself to live your life the way you want to live. And I think you put a great point forward about just identifying as like, cool, I don't have to give myself like this step-by-step exercise to go to the bathroom in life. I think it's a great example because like you can apply that to anything. Like I don't have to wait until like my spouse gets a gym membership and motivates me and starts cooking the right food to eat healthy and to get exercise and to go, do what's good for your life. You start doing it for yourself and you'll become the one that motivates people around you. You'll become the guiding light and you'll have the opportunity to like serve other people. And I think that's almost always a part of your passion is ultimately service to others. And when you do it for yourself and you pull that power back in and you recognize that you can do it and you figure out the best way to do it for you, you'll be able to like help others in that same process.
Oh yeah, definitely. It all starts with you. And my comment was certainly not to imply that you can go against all the laws and stuff and do whatever you want all the time. There's still some respect and stuff, and of course, so I don't want to get that misconstrued. But we seek permission or approval. We want the Facebook likes. We want the Instagram likes. What if somebody doesn't like what I'm doing, or what if they say something bad? What if, or, well, I can't do it because because my spouse hasn't, because my friend hasn't, because there's a traffic jam up ahead, because.
Yeah.
How many outside conditions are we allowing to control what we should really be in control of? And like you said, finding your passion, if it aligns with you and who you are, and you're putting good out into the world, I always go by the lines of legal, ethical, and moral. If it's in those three lines, go for it. I don't need to create a poll on Facebook. What do you think I should do?
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it certainly helps to have that support with you. It makes me think of a road trip. If I want to go on a road trip, if I want to go on a cruise, I'm going to go on a cruise. It's a lot more fun if I have some friends going with me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go on the cruise regardless.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, You should go on the cruise solo. I mean, I started vacationing. I started vacationing just like independently, just by myself, like 2016 or 17. It's been a hoot. It's been incredible. Like I wouldn't change it. Like you have the best experiences when you go alone because you're like a free electron. You just get attracted to the right people, the right places, the right things. It's fascinating. So both sides of the coin are fantastic. I like you brought that up, man. And I also want to tap into something else because I think what you're talking about with the earlier point was about like people online not agreeing with what you're doing or maybe not liking it or not giving it appreciation or not engaging or even like judging it and kind of like putting some negative comments on it and those types of things. And so like I can share like one of the tools that I do for myself and I teach people to do in this process because a lot of people stop in their business and stop their growth because they don't want to be rejected. They don't want to have to numb themselves to like negative behavior, negative, comments and, attacks and stuff like that, which happens once you start climbing the ladder because not everybody wants you to win. And that's just the way the game is built right now. And so one of the things that I help people do is, and I help myself do, is just whenever the things happen, so just look at it directly. Like if somebody doesn't like you, somebody like I do a lot of sales calls and a lot of people that are entrepreneurs do sales calls and stuff like that. And so it's an opportunity to get rejected every single day. And so what you have to do when you come to that moment is in our minds, we have like these parts of ourselves that like are, like against that. They're resistant to that experience. They're going to identify with like not winning and like connect it with not reaching their goals and other things like that. Typically pain that mind doesn't want to experience. So if you get to that moment, you've got to bring it up. You've got to have that experience. You get to that moment, you really have to just be present with it and just fully accept that you're stronger than this, that you can handle this. And that step usually is unconsciously a no until you assert it as a yes, right? When you come up with that emotion, you come up with that experience, you just come to that place and you say, cool, this is something I can handle. And then you handle it and you prove to yourself, you teach yourself that you can handle those things. It's like the big scary monster of the obstacle in front of you starts to get chunked down day by day as you just handle the little bit of edges that come with each experience, that come with those judgments, that come with those challenges. Because all those things are just the ghosts in our head. They're telling us you can't do it. They're not real. They're just the imaginary things that are coming up. Because like what does one person's judgment or another person's judgment have to do with my life? Like literally nothing. Literally not one thing. Like I can't even imagine one thing. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's positive or unless it's really insightful and critical and beneficial. But then you can just listen to it. It doesn't have to actually affect your life. You can just take it for what it is and use it if that's a purpose that you have. And so like doing that is just accepting each one of those things and it's like asserting and sort of being the dominant force in your life that you can handle this thing and then just proving it, handle it, just getting through it and focusing on the objective that you're here to focus on, which is your goals and what really excites you in life and your passion and what helps other people in service and those types of things.
Yeah, exactly. And a couple of things that I've learned to go with that is, there's a quote saying, I'm going to kind of butcher it a little bit, but it's like the people that are giving your opinions are not paying your bills.
Yeah.
So following them, they're not going to pay your bills with their opinions, or at the end of the day, if they want you to quit, you're not, or you're like, okay, if you pay my bill, then maybe I'll half consider it, give it a half a second of thought, kind of thing. But and then the other thing is, like you said, it's those ghosts. It's that perspective. When somebody said you can't do that, I used to like, oh no, what if they're right? Maybe they're right. Maybe I can. Maybe I was out of my mind. But now I'm like, all right, hold my Mountain Dew. Watch this.
Hold my Mountain Dew.
that I've been able to turn that more into fuel. You can't say I win. I'm going to do it just to rub it in your face. Sometimes, sometimes it's that greedy motivation, if you will. A little bit of that greedy motivation just gives you that extra fuel. But if it aligns with who you are, you're going to go for it anyways. That's just a bonus on top. You're like, told you so.
100%. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you're going to do it for you. Like everything we do for others is ultimately to serve ourselves. And the more you understand that, the more you'll just see how it's very functional. It really does help your life out. It really does benefit yourself when you help other people in business, and when you build skills and help other people build skills, you like have a better lifestyle. You get to help your family more. You get to, have luxuries, and it's really about like the collaborative effort to help others and move into that space where you are aware that like you mentioned greed, or just like the focus on yourself making a better life for yourself, which I think is a very natural thing for everyone. And to accept that and move into that is like for a lot of people a personality change. And I'm telling the truth here. Like one of the things that people pay me for is to get their identity into a place where they believe and they know that their ideas are worth building, because it takes a tremendous amount of effort and energy to build a 7-figure business. And you have to believe in your ideas. You have to have the confidence behind your ideas in order to do it. And that confidence comes from, of course, your experience. But if you don't have the identity set up to actually put these things into action, you're not going to have the experience. And so, in order to like really cement that, I'm going to like share a little bit of a story. Like right now, I'm tracking. I track like all my like KPIs, my most important steps for the day, and just the stuff that moves my business forward. And at night, I have a little form that I fill out that just basically is like a checklist. Did I do it or did I not? And it just automatically goes in my text. I just punch in the form. It's 30 seconds. I don't think about it. But I get to see the data of like what I improve every day, what I don't take care of, what I do take care of. And then I have a whole form that shows me like the results. I say that all because like every single day I have to plug into that form like the character trait that I'm building for the day. And what I noticed when I started doing this is that I choose the same trait over and over and over until it's really cemented. And this is like just a natural thing, because like you can't build, like right now it's steadfastness. That's what I'm building right now. And like steadfastness to me is like just being committed, being resilient, going for it regardless of what your emotions say, regardless of like what the logic says, just continuing to really put yourself in the place where you're going to find an opportunity and you're going to make something work. And I say that because like what we're talking about is okay, cool, like go for it, go for your dreams, build your life, follow your passion, engage with your purpose. And like you're going to have the character qualities in order to do that. And those character qualities are going to stack up over time. And so if you're very intentional and very focused on building those things and you take your time, right? Like I'll probably have steadfast for like multiple weeks and it'll probably come back later in my life, right? Because these things take like amount of time to leverage and to really build inside of ourselves until it's who we are and it's who we recognize ourselves to be. And so asking that question of like, what do I need to build today to like move my business forward, to move my life forward, is a really important step. And then just sticking with it until it's really cemented and you really feel like that's who you are now. And your life is going to change dramatically because of that. And doing that those inner steps is just as important, as relevant as doing the outer steps, because you can't really have one without the other. If you don't have the state of mind to win and to build your life and to focus on like the things that we've been talking about, taking responsibility for yourself and, giving yourself permission to do these things and actually following through with it. Like, it's these essential parts.
Yeah. And your mental muscles, I've heard and used the analogy of just like your physical muscles. If you don't go to the gym every day and work on those muscles, work on those dreams, those mental faculties and whatnot, then they're not going to develop. They're not going to become stronger. And you don't see the progress between day 1 and day 2.
That's right.
It may not look any different between day 1 or day 2, day 3. Yeah. But if you look at day 1 versus day 100, then you'll start to really see some changes and be able to notice that. And like you said, that constant tracking and improvements. Okay, what did I do today? Did I do that? And that's so important to keep up with it. Like I write my goals down. Okay, there we go. Like every day. Mm-hmm. And if I miss a day, then it's really easy to what's one day? What's 2 days of not writing your goals?
Yeah.
Or things you want to improve, things you want to work on, things you want to track. Even though my goals might say the same thing for 4 weeks in a row or whatever. Yeah. It's so easy to get into that. Oh, what's it's been 4 weeks. It's not going to make any difference now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's 100%. You're 100% hitting the button, man. Because like the same thing works in every area of life. Like for the audience that's listening to this, like look at your diet and your exercise routine. You know, those things are just built over decades. Like honestly, like the way we eat, the way we think about food, the way we think about like our bodies and we the ways we improve our bodies through exercise and movement and other things. Those things are literally just stacked over years. And so, you know, one of the things I recommend people just when they're building a new habit or pattern or anything is just really take it slow and only take like a joke, but like take small bites, right? Like little chunks of like that improvement, you know? Like I work with these typically like high performing entrepreneurs, and so they're sacrificing their body a lot of times. Like they're 25 pounds overweight or blah blah blah. They don't exercise, they don't go to the gym, but they want to have that body they used to have in their like when they were 25, you know? And so like they're like, yeah, all right, cool. I joined this program. Like we do all the business stuff, but also like bring in like we set up tracking and everything for like all the other areas of life and make sure those goals are being met as well. And and so like one of the things I have them do is like, cool, well, you're just gonna do like literally like 30-minute walking like once per day. Like you're not gonna go to the gym, not gonna do anything else. And like, what? Like I know I want to go to the gym, I want to get back in my routine. It's like, no, you're just gonna walk. And so what happens the first like 3 or 4 weeks, they walk maybe like 2 or 3 days out of the week, right? By the fourth, fifth, sixth week, they're walking every single day. By like the 2 month mark, they actually like are like getting fit. They've lost 5 or 10 pounds, and they're like, hey, shit, dude, I've actually been accomplishing this. Why don't I actually step up and go to the gym? Why don't I actually start? And I'm telling you, like after doing that, seeing my clients do that, they always end up going to the gym 3 to 5 times a week. If that's their goal. And that's how it works. Like you don't do it in like an overnight thing. You start off by doing like 25 push-ups, 25 jumping jacks in your bedroom once a day, and you count it. Okay, you put the check mark on the list, like on your piece of paper, and you say done deal. Like good job, way to go. That's self-love, that's self-appreciation, that's moving my life forward. And building the mindset works like that. Like you just do the simple steps that move it forward. And that's probably the most important thing that like I'm going to share with like today and this week is that's how the mind works. When you start just taking those simple steps and building that routine and building up that intention to get the thing done, no matter how simple it is, that's what makes things work overall. Because the businesses and your whole lifestyle and your body and your brain and the relationships that you have is a slow moving process overall. And it doesn't take that much energy when you really just chunk down and do it day by day, just like you talked about. You write down those goals, I guarantee that you've manifested like probably 80% of the things that you've written down in the past, because that's just how it works. When you're committed to doing that thing, it will work for you. And that applies to everything.
Yeah, and my goals are constantly improving, changing, because before my thinking was here, and then when I get there, then my thinking's up here and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so am I working on those new goals because now you're ready to take on that next step, and instead of walking 10 minutes a day, you're walking 25. Apply that to your goals. And that brings me to what I want to talk about next is how do you help people explore those possibilities you mentioned a minute ago, of putting yourself in position to take advantage of opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
There a lot of times in that mindset we're so hammered and grained down and drained that we don't even think of anything else. This is my daily routine, this is my life, this is whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How do we even get them to I can do that?
Yeah, I gotta say this, you got to put something on the line. Okay, like you have to put something on the line, whether it's money, whether it's an agreement with a friend or even a competition. One of my mentors like literally just put a competition towards me. He's like, dude, we're gonna compete in sales this week. I'm like, what, dude, you're my mentor. Like, what am I supposed to do? I was like, all right, let's do it. Like, whatever, and like having some skin in the game. Like people won't do it. Like this is one of the reasons that like a lot of people like talk about like stacking up your why. I do it for my family. I do it for this type of lifestyle. I do it for freedom. I do it to like make my kids like see a better example as a father and XYZ. But like you've got to have something in the game. in order to be committed to something. You've got to have your butt on the line. And so that's like the first step is having something invested. Like, even if it's a little bit, it's like when you like run Facebook ads, you have money in the game. You are motivated to get this thing done. You're going to look at it every single day. If it's, like, if it's, as long as it's not just pennies, you're actually spending some money, and you're going to find ways to improve it because like your butt's on the line, And so I would recommend everyone getting into something like find an accountability partner, find like a mentor to invest in, or a program to invest in, or some way to leverage where you're actually going to invest. Because if you don't spend anything on the front end, and that doesn't have to be money, it could just be like, a commitment of some sort, or a competition, or like all the things we mentioned. But you've got to be invested and biased towards getting that thing done in order to follow through. And I can go more into like what to do after that, but I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference when you have something vested, when you're when you're more committed like that. And then when you start to take those blinders off, if you've been put on those figurative blinders, you're just the same routine every day, and you start to open up or even take a little detour out of your normal routine and start looking at those, and they're like, I want that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna figure out a way. I'm going to reach out, even if what's on the line is you getting embarrassed for a while, or something, someone saying, no, you'll never do that. You might get some negative feedback. That might be all that's on the line, is a little bit of negativity, a little bit of embarrassment. But who cares? Go for it. If that's what you want, if that's what you want to explore, go for it.
Yeah, and that's going to happen. You're going to be embarrassed, and you're going to be judged. The question comes up, are you willing to accept that and move beyond it?
Yeah, you're going to be judged whether you do it or whether you don't do it.
Yeah.
So,
like, if you don't do it, there's no way you're not going to judge yourself.
Yeah.
And so it's not even like, if you don't do it, there's no way you're not going to judge yourself. No one can look you in the eye and tell you, it's like, no, I won't judge myself if I don't go for like where my talents are leading me. I ran a roofing company for like 6-7 years, somewhere along those lines. And I knew the entire time that it was not for me. It wasn't my passion. It wasn't my purpose. Like, I was throwing roofs on, roof after roof after roof after roof, had a crew of guys, like was doing the sales, was working 10, 12-hour days. I mean, it was killing me. It's like, it was just like I was experiencing stress, overeating, burnout. I was just overall unhappy with my life. My social life sucked. I wasn't like treating my girlfriend well at the time. I didn't barely even see her. It was just like a pit of despair, because like I was really just trying to put something together. It wasn't really meant for me. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, if we continue to do those things, or just not do the thing that's really in alignment with our heart and our soul and our passion, well, we're going to judge ourselves the entire fucking time. That's the pain I was experiencing. That stress and that anxiety and that exhaustion was just a product of me just judging myself for not doing what I really was like designed to do, what I really love to do. I know that a lot of people experience that working 9-to-5s and sort of working in the corporate world. And I mean, it's a short-term game. You can't do that for a lifetime. If you do, you end up an empty shell, and nobody wants to be that. And that shell is just a product of your own judgment. You just judge yourself into thinking and believing that you can't do what you really love and want to do, and that making that a priority for yourself. And so, to reiterate, it's like, you're always going to be facing judgment. Like, do you want it to be your own, or do you want it to be others while you're actually living a happy life? It's up to you.
Yeah. And it's ultimately going to be your own that you go to the grave with. So others can judge you all the way along, but it's doesn't make a difference to me. It's not going to stop me from doing what's in tune with me. So thank you for sharing that, Andrew. Where can people reach out to you? If they wanted to.
Yeah, for sure. So my Facebook page is Andrew Tansil. My group is 7-Figure Systems and Mindset on Facebook. You can just reach out to me on Facebook. And just a regular guy. Just hit me up in the inbox. I'll say what's up. Be happy to have you guys as friends, and Yeah, man, getting to know you more. That's the name of the game.
Awesome. Appreciate that, Andrew. Thank you again for taking the time to be here, and everyone listening. Go live your passion, fulfill your purpose, and explore those possibilities.
Facts.